special people with me today. When I mean special, I mean the podcasters in the RGV.
Not the short bus.
Sorry. I can't call this the official of RGV podcast convention, but it's a pretty good start.
It sure
is.
So I have with the Chew and Ooh
podcast. Yeah, so, but you know what? I'll take it. You know what?
Chew and Ooh
At least you said it right, man, because Chew's always taking responsibility for that. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. You get a gold star in my book.
You're like, you just fixed it.
Can you tell us who else is with us today?
Well, then let them introduce themselves because I'm tongue twisting today. So
right.
We'll start across to my right, which is Miss. Go ahead.
My name is Brittany Staples, aka Jamie Strode with Evil by Default podcast.
And right in front of me,
My name is Sean Logan, aka I'll use that too as well, but everybody know me as Low, and I'm from Off the Shelf Underground podcast.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So like podcasting, I mean, can you guys like tell us why you started a podcast?
Yeah, go ahead and record. Huh?
Well, the reason why I started the podcast is because the Valley has a whole lot of talent, and for some reason it just can't really get out. You hear about everybody else, but you don't hear about nobody in the Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to start the podcast Off the Shelf Underground, as I say again, to give people a platform so people can really see what's going on, what's really going on down here. Because I think the Valley is the next Hollywood. Is what I think. You have all the cinematographers, you have all the podcasters, you have all the actors, music, of course. So again, I just wanted to get them on and have a platform for them to shine.
Miss Brittany.
That was very well said.
Well, I appreciate that.
So me and my friend had started the podcast, and it was something we were starting to do after our movie nights. We used to host the movie nights at Cine Ray. Now we moved to the Gremlin. But we like to review horror movies, horror games, anything of the horror genre. And, at the time, we didn't really have the right resources, but the perfect time to really jump on it was during COVID times. Where
Yeah,
you
for
just
sure.
had to, quarantine and stay in.
Of course, I'm Ooh from the Chew podcast. Our podcast started up actually not as a fluke. That's just something to help a good buddy of mine out. To go back, I mean, I'm a musician myself back in the day, and the little guy who's trying to get out of the Valley to become something bigger than what they are trying to be at all. But fortunately, that dream got sunk down the toilet bowl. So I figured, since I've already known more or less the entertainment business, how it is here in the RGV, how it runs and stuff. So I say, why not help the little guy? No one helped me out. Why not be that guy to help the little guy, give them a voice?
Exactly.
So, and I pitch out everything, which is artists, painters, also actors, directors,
Tattoo artists.
small tattoo artists, also actors, directors, and even I know I'm forgetting a couple, and I'm sorry if I am forgetting a couple, but anybody we basically get our hands on to come to the podcast, man, we just want to give a helping hand so they can get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, there's like a lot of people who say they want to start a podcast, and they think it's easy. How easy or how hard is it to have a podcast?
Just like anything else, I would say that you have to have a passion for it. So if you have a passion for it, it's not really hard. If you're just doing it just to do it, just to say that you're doing a podcast, and this is going to be brutal. You know what I mean? So like for me, I mean, I grind and everything that I see. When I see the finished product, I'm very, very proud of it. So that gives me a lot of inspiration to just keep on going and keep moving forward. Once I see people start getting out, being heard and stuff like that, that's my reward.
It's definitely hard starting off. So for me, let's just put it out there. I am the rookie here. I'm barely starting off, still fairly new. Just even finding the resources of trying to get started, of doing a podcast, the topic that you want to go with. I know in the very beginning, and if I go back to those episodes, you can tell that I sound very nervous. I'm not being myself. It's not coming out fluent.
Right.
I'm not funny at all.
Right.
It sounds like I got to stick up my butt. But now we just we can shoot the shit.
No. This is our viewership is mostly family orientated.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we had to mix that down. Take that out, DJ.
Failure.
Yeah, I did
I'm so
not.
sorry.
No, I
I
did
apologize.
Yeah.
This is what.
This is why it's so hard.
No, it's not.
We have, when a podcaster starts, do
Yeah.
they choose to go live or pre-record? What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, for me, if you watch the show, it's all pretty much live. And for me, and my point of view, is going live is you get the real person on who they are, who they truly are. Yeah, you can. You ever heard the term "don't never judge a book by its cover"? Okay, when you go live, I mean, you're showing your true colors, no matter what. When that mic's in front of your face and you start talking, just like we're doing in any other podcast pre-recorded, you can go back, you can edit, you can, okay, this shouldn't be said, we can kick this out, we can take that out, even on video. When you go live, that's set in stone.
Right.
That's set in stone, because there's people that are watching, and people that didn't watch it. Me, I'm not editing anything out. I'm throwing it out there because this is you. This is you. You're coming out to the world. Whoever's watching, they're going to know who you truly are.
Right.
So that's the beautiful thing, And then just like for Brittany here, I mean, when we first met, I brought her on to Roundtable Studios. She was kind of nervous.
Yeah.
She didn't know where she was going. I kind of little bit directed her in the right way, and I go, you know what? You do your podcast how you're comfortable with, and that's you. That's you. That's who you are. But I mean, as far as like interview, I've never brought her into an interview. I brought her in a couple of interviews with me, so she can test the waters. What's have you? So that way she knows how to represent and also when not to represent. But I mean, it's a good way of learning, and that's the beautiful thing. You have to learn. And that's great, and there should be no shame on that.
Yeah,
because it's a learning experience.
Right, for real.
Most
So yeah, that's the way you do it. So yeah.
Well, for me, mine's all pre-recorded, and I'm real authentic, so all my stuff is going to be authentic, regardless if I record it or do it live. That's just me.
Right.
But the reason why I record it is because the business is real busy. You know what I mean? I like to record it anyway, so I can watch it first before I put it out. And how my podcast is structured, when I meet or get in contact with the people that I'm interviewing, they already know when you come in here, it's straight business. There's no mucking around. Don't come in drunk. Don't come in high.
Yeah.
Don't come in here cursing.
Right.
None of that stuff. You know what I mean?
I hear.
So when they come and see me, or when I contact them, when they come to my show, they know. But mine are pre-recorded. Definitely.
Yeah, same here. Mine's are pre-recorded, except for my gameplays. My gameplays are live, so you get the full version of me. If I'm screaming, I get scared. Yeah, you're gonna see all of that.
Viewer expression is advised.
All real reactions.
Right.
And one of the things I like about watching like other people's podcasts is you stay committed to it because you see them start improving. I mean, their first show might be horribly audio's off. There's a hiss.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But then you watch it and they start getting better and better and better. Can you share what was your best podcast moment so far, and what was your worst?
I'm going to say everybody that I've interviewed are the best ones that I've done. You know what I mean? I've graduated from writing down questions and reading every question, just being organic. All my conversations and all my interviews are organic, but I still like to write them down because I'm a writer. I like to write. But now I'm transitioning to just free thinking and just go on with the conversation, and just let it be organic and let it roll.
Right. I got you.
So for me, one of the episodes that I did a review on was the movie X by A24. And that one, since I really, really loved the movie, I felt like I really went into a lot of depth, a lot of details into this film. The gore, the horror, the comedy that came with this too, the charm. I don't want to say like I have a worst episode, but when I first started off, I want to say it was the movie The Collector. That one was very bland, and that was my first one. And then when you go back and hear that one, that was very bland. I wasn't myself. And to start hearing more of my episodes, I'm more authentic. I'm more goofy. I'm more of myself. And definitely audio is better, because back then I was just using just my headset. And then that's when, you start to kind of invest in equipment to start making that audio, that
you have to
transition.
invest in yourself on anything, for sure.
Most definitely.
yeah,
That's the hard
sure.
part about it too.
And that's what people don't get it, because I had a person that I was going to interview, and the guy told me, well, you got to pay me $1,500 to come to. I pay you $1,500. I'm paying already for you to come on the show to expose you, and you want me to pay you? Come on, man, get real. I was like, nah, that's all right.
One of the best episodes that we've had.
It was mine.
Yes, it was with Sean Logan. It was one with Brittany.
Go ahead and say it. It's
Hey, be careful what you say.
No, honestly, one of the top ones I've actually have, and I'll keep saying today. The audio was a little off, I'm going to tell you, but the live was perfect. It was with Cesar Cano, one great guitar player, and
I still need to get him.
I had him on the show this past Wednesday, and as you can see,
Tell the story.
He went on the fly for that one, man. That was crazy the way he came up with the music that night. But the story is that this is in my point of view. I don't know him personally, but my point of view, when we first met him, we had him on. We are gonna have him on the show, and he came in. A lot of people were telling him, "Hey, you gotta be careful with this guy. He's not all there, and he's socially awkward." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Oh, okay. I don't know what you mean. All right, whatever." So I talked to Chew. I told him, "Hey, we're gonna get this guy coming in. Just be patient with him and what so have you, and we'll take it one step at a time. We'll wing it." And he goes, "All right, cool." So he shows up, meet him, hello, he introduces himself, he sits down, we start talking the podcast. He's nervous as hell. And I'm looking at him like, okay, I'm trying to, like, not a doctor, I'm not anything, but when you know. And I started realizing really slow, like, okay, this young gentleman, to me, he might be in the spectrum. All right, 1. 2, he is socially awkward. So you know what, just let it ride. Just keep going. So we're talking, all of a sudden he drops water on the table, which spills all over the table, doesn't go into the equipment. He freaks out. I go, "Hey, don't even worry about it, bro. It's just water. I got my rag and put it on top. Don't worry about it. Not a big deal." As soon as I said that, he accepted us. And he just opened up. And he started playing his 2 songs on his guitar, which was phenomenally amazing, which right now that episode is still ranking at I think 2,000 3,000 views already.
Wow.
So I was like,
awesome.
it's an awesome episode, and I think it's one of my best episodes ever. And my worst is when the podcast gods kills my audio. But yeah, I would have to say that would be the best one. Yeah,
A lot of people try to commercialize like podcasts. They're like, I'm going to start and I'm going to make a lot of money doing this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What are you guys making like a lot of money like doing this? Are you like
Who are you talking to?
Does this look like a Rolex to you, my man?
I still got an Apple Watch.
So I just got an Apple phone last week.
So what business like aspect do you guys bring like to your podcast? Like what's your ultimate goals?
My ultimate goal, just like I said from the beginning, is just to give people a platform that never had a platform. It's not for me. It's for everybody that wants to come on there, that wants to shine. Again, I'm coming out of pocket, and I have mortgage, I have kids, I have stuff like that. But I set aside some money so I can just do that too as well. So for me, it's all about the people that come to my show. It's nothing about me off the shelf underground. What I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I want to get the people on there that can go ahead and shine.
Yeah, exactly.
So Sean, it's like one of your strong like passions.
It is my passion. Yes, it is my
on my end, I know for a fact that I try to help out. Like I said, I try to help out a lot of the local business and what have you. And some local business offers, hey man, we see you have a podcast. It's actually doing pretty well. You got a little bit of an audience. What can we do to help you out? And so that's when I offer what I offer as far as a sponsorship. And I give them their playtime. I promote them on our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, and I do as much as I can.
Commercials are awesome.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, they are.
Especially a Taqueria Sancho shout out.
I'm so jealous of that one.
But it is. There's as far as the group wise in our studio, there's quite a few of us in the Roundtable Studio now, which is awesome. This is why we have the nice studio now, because we all pitch in to get that. And as far as equipment, that extra funding that we get from the sponsorship, it's we lights, microphones, better cameras, get this, get that. It's all for the studio. I wish I could say, I pocket that and enjoy myself and head to Hawaii. No, that doesn't happen. It goes towards that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And Brittany's one great example. I mean, bringing her aboard to the Roundtable Studio has not only grown as a family, but it's flourishing even more.
Right.
Because it's giving her more opportunity.
Yeah.
Mark, what's this Roundtable Studio?
Roundtable Studios.
Roundtable Studios.
Roundtable Studios. And I get paid every time I say that. What? No, I'm just joking. I wish. No.
It sounds like very King Arthur-ish.
Oh, yes.
Roundtable is all about business, though.
Yeah.
Everybody sitting around the roundtable.
And that's the beautiful part about Roundtable. The Roundtable itself is there's just no end corners of the table. No one's in charge. Everybody has a a word, a
The seat at the
voice.
table.
Exactly. It's an even out table, a perfect circle, just like me. But yeah, everybody's input and thoughts come into the podcast. It's Evil by Default. It's Your Mama podcast. It's the EQ. It's the Real Culture Chunu podcast. Paranormal Discourse podcast, and we plan to grow more. We want to get as many podcasts as we can in there to help us flourish more, and eventually it's going to get to a network. Or so we had that talk earlier, a corporation.
The good word.
But yeah, it's awesome having that much support when everybody has the same views after that one goal, and they're behind you 100%, and they look up to you and they say, "Hey, what do we do here? What do you think we did this?" And I feel like, wow, you're asking me.
Right.
I go, dude, I was about to ask you something. And that's the beautiful part of it, man. That's the beautiful part about it.
Starting a podcast, doing a podcast is not cheap. Equipment's not cheap. Like, more or less, if someone wanted to start their own podcast, how much money do you think they got to put in?
For me, my studio has the equipment, so I pay the studio, and they do all my editing. They do all my stuff like that, so I pay them. So for me to give you a number of how much, to be honest with you, I wouldn't know. You would know, but I wouldn't know.
I would know. I mean, I'm going to tell you straight from the hip. I mean, if you want to start a podcast, what camera's mine? I'm right there. If you want a podcast, you start the way I did. That's with a phone. Start up with a small cell phone. Record yourself and slap it in the middle of the table and just conversate. That's your podcast. You have a small little laptop, link it up. You can find an app. If you're willing to do one, you will try your best to get it going.
But how much would equipment?
Well, phone wise, if you're paying a phone per month, I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But if you're going to move up to equipment, you start from the lowest. I know a lot of podcasts, and I'm not going to name podcasts, but that go above and beyond. They buy $300 computer, laptops or tablets, microphones, cameras. I mean, they come out of the hip spending about $4 to $6, $7 grand. Easy.
And
like we were talking earlier, sometimes they do like 4 episodes and they're done.
Yeah.
And where does all that equipment go? What, eBay?
That, or it's collecting
you have to have
dust.
content.
Yeah, it's collecting dust.
You have to have content. You can't just think that you're going to just get on and start a podcast. You don't know what direction you're going to. You don't have, you're not willing to do the work.
Exactly.
The legwork to get your interviews, the legwork to come to the studio and to do this and do that. So you got to be really about it. Because if not, it's going to be a 3-day trip, and that's going to be it.
Yeah.
And so how do you guys decide what content to put on? Like how do you say, I'm going to put this content, or I'm going to get this person on my podcast? What goes on?
Well, I've never done any interviews. I will be honest with that. And that's because I am the rookie, and I'm still building my equipment. So softwares. Like a lot of people do StreamYard.
Nice
It's
software,
expensive.
by the way.
It's not,
Yes.
it's a great platform, and I've been looking at it. Is it cheap? No, it's not cheap. So that's why a lot of my episodes are pre-recorded. Whatever I can get my hands on, that's what I'm using. So as of right now, I am not doing any interviews. I would love to, especially. I definitely want to get there because we do have local talent, and especially on the horror genre, we have some local actors that are doing, horror movies, filmmakers, and that's definitely what I want to hop on right now.
There's mine. Oh, how do I pick out my guests? Is that what you're
How do you I'm going to put this guest
Oh my
on
gosh. I'm going to tell you, social media is a blessing right off the bat.
How many times do you get rejected by people?
Oh man, you're going to get rejected left and right. You're going to get rejected no matter what. The thing is, you never take no for an answer. You keep going and looking for that person who wants to come on.
I've been lucky.
Did they ever give you a reason why they reject you?
The reason, how tall? Like, are you short?
6'3.5".
Well, of course, why no one turns you down?
But it's over the phone.
Not to the meet them. I'm glad I took the offer.
The weather looks nice up there.
No, I mean, I have been. The reasons why I've been rejected. One is, your platform's not that big. 2, I don't like the setting, man. It's gonna make me look bad and stuff like those are the rejections. Which I'm like, dude, I'm not a high caliber Joe Rogan guy or these big podcasts up north. I'm starting out. I'm starting from the bottom.
Right.
I want you to be here when I'm starting from the bottom. When I get to the top, eventually, you say, dude,
that's when they're going to come, and that's when you close the door.
Exactly.
This is exactly when you close the door. Like, no, I'm good.
Exactly.
I'm good.
Exactly. So a lot of rejection. Yeah.
Have you ever had a rejection and then later they come back?
Oh,
and
yeah.
say, hey, can I be on your show?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I have had a rejection, and they say no, they don't want to be on, but they're dying now to get on.
Mhm.
Especially with this new studio that we got, the new platform. Oh, they're dying to jump on now.
I'm still waiting for the one to come back to me.
Oh, don't worry, buddy. Don't worry.
I'm waiting on him.
We'll get you on there.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
don't worry, I got you.
So you're gonna get that nice high climb the stairs.
Yeah.
That should be fun for you.
It's only going to be like 4 steps.
Yeah,
You'll be
right.
up there with this height.
It's not that bad.
Going back to your other question of how do I find my my interviewees, I know a lot of people down here, which is number one. And meeting people through people, seeing who people know,
Right,
and say,
right.
"Oh yeah, I know this person. Oh yeah, you know Lo? Oh yeah, you should go on there and stuff like that."
Right,
So like,
right.
it's real easy for me to get people to come on there. And I schedule my stuff a month or 2 months out to make sure I have that. I have backup plans in case that person can't show up or something like that for what happened. But it hasn't happened to me yet, thank God.
Yeah.
But I do have B plans, C plans in case that happens too as well. So
Yeah.
it's very structured.
Well, you say that as far as I think one other reason is because I go live.
Yeah.
I think that might be another reason why. Yeah, that might be another reason why.
And like, nah, y'all crazy. I ain't coming.
You're gonna make me say something I don't want to say.
Right. Get me fired from work.
And when you guys run into like a podcast problem, either like technical issues or coming up with ideas, where do you guys turn to for either inspiration or ideas? Or
I'm a walking inspiration because I believe in everything that I do. And when I speak to people, I'm being very genuine. And when I'm very into, and what gets me to is I'm very into women empowerment. You know what I mean? So when I meet women or people come in and do interviews and stuff like that, I speak very highly of that. I have 2 daughters of my own too as well, so I'm very big on that. And so, yeah, that's what it is.
yeah, well, that's a very important message, especially in South Texas, where we have a Mexican machismo type culture. But that raises another big point. Do you guys think you guys have like a huge responsibility in the message that you guys do with every person you put on? Or
As far as being a human and caring about people, yes. Yes. And it's a huge responsibility, because you have to believe in what you believe in, even though people don't. Some people don't care about women and stuff, empowerment and all that stuff, but I do. And that's what I roll with.
Right.
So when it comes to technical issues, I usually go to I really do, because I'm still learning the ropes. And I know you told me about your whole journey of where you,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
where you've gone and where you're
Yeah.
at now. So usually when I have technical problems, I usually go to you, or I
That's
have
true.
to like kind of search it myself and
Yeah.
see what's going to be the best platform or the best resource for me. I know I was going to say something right now, and I can't remember.
But the technical,
I got really like sucked into your story right now, and then
that's
I
how
lost,
it happens.
I know.
That's,
oh my
that's
God.
how it happens.
Yeah.
But
and how do you guys distribute your podcast? Is it on Spotify?
Yes.
Facebook?
Yes.
Is it everything?
Yes.
How do you guys
That's an
do
easy
it?
question.
Yeah, that was a super easy question. Dude. Next one, please. No,
We're done with that.
as far as streaming wise, I basically Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, what else? Google, I believe
I don't even know
Amazon.
those, but yeah.
Amazon. Ours runs in about at least 18 different streaming stations.
Oh,
So
wow.
and not including the New York Podcast Association that run through there, and some podcasts which I yet to see funds. By the way, if you're watching Ghana, if you're watching, where's my 2 cents?
Right. I need all that.
They distribute our podcast on their platform, and people have to pay to listen to our podcast. Do I see any of
That's
that?
crazy.
No, but it's fine. At least we're being heard. That's the beautiful thing about it.
But I like Spotify the most because I can do the visual and the audio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can watch it or you can listen to it either way. So that's my favorite platform.
And where do you guys find the most views? Is it on Facebook, Spotify? Where are you guys seeing?
Spotify.
For sure. Spotify for sure. Because I mentioned it too. If you want to see visual and audio, you go to Spotify. If you want just the audio, then you go to Apple or the other ones that I have. But as far as that, Spotify.
But I know Brits is off of straight out YouTube.
Yes, I do.
I need to work
I
on
do
that.
upload it on YouTube
Yeah,
as
I
well.
need to work on that.
Yeah, that one's a little bit of fun. You can play with that one.
Yeah.
So we got the audio on all the platforms, Anchor, Spotify,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Google
the Anchor,
Podcasts,
yeah.
and then you got the video where you can watch that on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's the way I have mine set up.
Yeah.
So yeah, yes, sir.
And so, is there like any local association that podcasters can join, or is there a group of podcasters? Like,
You're going there.
Yeah, he is going there.
You're going there,
Save
ain't you?
shit for last, yeah.
is there like a Whataburger podcasters meet at on a certain day and time?
Man, you stuck in the movie Singles, bro.
Let's network.
I don't. There's a lot of podcasters down here. As far as like a corporation or anything like, I'm not corporation. There you go.
You see? I told you.
As far as having everybody together and stuff like that, not really. I'm saying the closest one that I'm to of all podcasters is this man here. Other than that, I really don't mess with nobody else. This is the only person that I really mess with. So no, I don't think it is.
As far as a platform for everybody, we talked about this last time. I did put in, I don't want to say I did, but yeah, I did. I made a certain page for all these podcasters from the RGV to jump on and distribute their stuff so people can watch it. And it's been beautiful, man, to see that all these people are throwing their stuff in there. Even artists throwing their music videos on there.
Right.
And the cool thing is that I get that before I approve it. Because I've gotten stuff that's
Very questionable.
very, very questionable. But and I have to decline it, you know. But I know Brit's podcast. I know Sean's had a couple of them on there. I know you've distributed them on there before, and of course ours, the EQ and the Chuny podcast, and amongst the other podcasts with the 956 Boys, with the Beefy Boy Bros, and so on and so forth. Just name a few. But yeah, I mean that platform has done wonders for everybody. And it's nice to know, and it's funny because there's times when they ask me who made the platform. I stay quiet.
Yeah,
I don't say anything.
Right.
I'm like, not gonna mention it. I'm not gonna say nothing because they're asking who's the admin and how come my stuff not getting posted.
You know all that.
I go, no, I don't know that. I don't know who that is, man. You know,
you want to be on it, you don't.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. So yeah, but yeah, as far as that, yeah, that's the platform I try to help out as much as I can for the RGV.
And I know that I've seen your guys like podcasts, and what I like about them so much is that they're gritty, they're dirty. It's not.
Be talking about yours.
It's not like
he ain't talking about mine.
Like it's
My
not,
time up is here. Is over.
It's not like commercialized.
Right.
It's not like something you're going to see on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's raw, and that these are real people doing their podcast.
Right.
And like that's what makes me watch like other people's podcasts, just to know that they're genuine about what
That's
they're
what it's all
talking
about.
Right.
and they're not. They don't hold themselves out as experts. They're like,
I'm just a regular person.
yeah, you're going on an adventure.
Right.
This podcast is going to be an
Right.
adventure, and where are you going to take your listener and your viewer?
Exactly.
And that's what I like about your guys' podcast.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate. Thank you very much.
There's others that are out there that the minute I watch them, I'm like, this is a commercialized.
Right.
This is a commercialized podcast.
Right.
I got you.
It doesn't have that.
You can't feel it.
You can't feel it.
You can't feel it. Yeah.
You can't feel it. And I
Right.
think that's what makes your guys' podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So good.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
And why I listen to them.
Well, thank you.
That's
for
awesome.
listening.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate the follow.
For real.
Subscribe.
Yeah, for real.
And the extra fun.
Push subscribe.
Britt, do yours.
No.
Let's talk about the elephant like in the room.
Okay.
Okay. Now to start to have a podcast in the Rio Grande Valley,
Mhm.
right? There's a certain culture down here where it's we don't necessarily like to bring people up. It's more
We
like
talk about that all the
you
time.
know,
Yeah.
let me try to pull this person down.
Yeah.
So, do you guys ever get like nasty comments on the stuff you post, and how do you deal with it?
As far as me, I haven't. But we talk about it all the time. You know, instead of people coming together, I want everybody to win. That's just how I'm built. I want everybody to win. I'm not hating on you and stuff like that. And if someone wants to hate on me, then I just get away from them. You know, bad energy, I don't deal with any of that stuff like that. So for me, I don't have any problems now.
Yeah. Britt?
I haven't had any bad comments, and nobody said anything nasty. But I know when I'm doing reviews, of course, it's your opinion. You're
Right.
just talking about some things.
Don't take it personal.
Exactly. Everyone has their own opinion. Along with my reviews, I also like to review a craft beer. Now, let's say maybe I don't like it. I'm not going to say anything bad about the beer or anything. I might say something, hey, you know what? This one's maybe a little bit too citrusy for me, but maybe this will be up your alley.
Right,
Maybe
for
this is
sure.
the beer for you, you know, so I'll still recommend it in some way that I can, even though it's not for me.
Wow, like the way all the eyes turned on me.
No,
Sure.
All the eyes turned on me.
Somebody's awfully quiet. Somebody's awfully quiet.
Wow.
Let's see how Mark handles it.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
So what would you say,
Yeah,
Mark?
well,
Yes.
how do you handle it?
Oh, trouble just follows me left and right. No, yes, I have gotten a couple on certain interviews. I have gotten a couple. I can't believe you
wow.
interviewed this person. Why didn't you interview me?
Oh, that's hate.
This person over here, he does this or she does that, you know. And I get them. The good thing is I get those comments before they even pop out. So I have the authority to get rid of all of those, you know. And if anybody watches the show, sometimes I put comments on the bottom, and they'll see the replies. And lately, I haven't done it because
Yes, I've noticed that.
the setup is kind of. I'm still getting the quarterback.
later.
Yeah.
You get it like Sean.
There you go,
a day
Sean.
later.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Sorry, Sean. Sorry, Master Sean.
Really? Come on.
But yeah, you're where it comes to. But I welcome it. Only reason why I welcome it, that means I'm doing something right and someone's jealous about it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think it is like my brother and I say, your haters are your makers. So if you got haters behind you that are telling other people, hey, see this guy what you put last night, man? Check out, really? Let me see. That's a view.
Right.
I go, that's a view for
Right.
me.
Thank you.
Go, thank you.
That's
Appreciate
true.
that. That's a listen. That's for me.
And that's not just in podcasts. I mean, that's in like everything, you know, from what I see. You know, whether you're an artist, whether you're a lawyer, you know what I mean? You have people that's really going to hate on you because they don't want to see you win.
Exactly.
For their own reason.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that
Exactly.
doesn't make sense to me. It still doesn't. But that's just what it is.
Yeah, it is. And that's yeah.
And that's okay.
It's okay. Exactly.
It's okay. Don't bother
It's
me
okay.
now.
Exactly.
Stay away from the drama.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let it get to you.
Got time for that.
So how can you guys follow you?
Well, for me, you can go to Off the Shelf Underground on Spotify, Off the Shelf Underground, Instagram, Twitter, all the platforms. You can find me on there as well. And it was awesome. I want to say this. My daughter Googled me and it popped up. She's like, Dad, look. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think that's one of the coolest feelings, that when you post something and you get a comment from somewhere across the
Oh,
planet,
yeah.
you're
Yes,
just like,
yes,
wow.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think I was in like 4 countries. The last time I checked, they sent me something. I'm like in 4 countries right now. And I don't even know. I don't know about it. I'm just doing my thing. I'm not really thinking about it like that. You know, I'm going to be worldwide or anything like that. I'm just doing what I love to do. I think it's awesome. So whatever comes with that, I'll accept it. But, you know, it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
That was a funny time there.
won't be the last
Hopefully
thing
so.
Oh my
either.
gosh.
What about you, Brittany? How can people follow?
So that's Evil by Default podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor.
What
Oh,
about,
eyes on me again.
about you?
Pay attention.
I mean, Mark, what I like about your podcast is it's a great podcast, but you yourself, like what you're doing, is just fantastic.
He's awesome.
Like you're just trying to get all these podcasters together when there's no unity whatsoever, right? And
Right.
You're kind of like the podcast godfather.
Oh my gosh. Here we
There you
go.
There you
the
go.
podcast
Here we
godfather.
go.
Now he's going to be stroking his ear.
Yeah.
make you know you can't refuse.
It's 5:05. Where you been?
Oh my God! You guys can step out. We'll continue with the podcast now. No, I mean, I appreciate that compliment. I'm just like what Sean's saying, man. Just trying to be who I am, trying to do my best, and trying to get everybody to unite to make some noise down here. I mean, there's so much going on down here that, like I said before, my other podcast, even in my radio station that I do sometimes on the side, I go, we're not only the island, we're not only Mexico.
Right.
There's something in between.
Yes, a lot of
There's
something.
a lot of something in between. And you just got to come and check it out. Your spring breakers are coming out. If this gets released before spring break, guys, come visit.
Get off the island.
Yes, come
to visit the real valley.
Go visit Brownsville, Harlingen, McAllen, San Juan,
Mission.
Donna,
That's where I live
Mission,
at.
Edinburgh. I mean, come out and enjoy yourself, man. Don't just stay on the island. Give these other local businesses a chance to,
Yes.
Yeah.
you know, make a living. That's what it's all about, you know.
And you probably won't leave like me.
I ended up staying.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Thank you very much.
But as far as my podcast, I'll make it plain and simple.
Everywhere.
Plain and simple. Go to Google, type in Chew a New Podcast. We'll pop out like a sore weed in the summer. Trust me, we're all over the
Show
place.
you.
Yeah, you can pick wherever you want to watch us, whatever you want to buy from us, whatever you want to hit us up. You want to come on the podcast and be heard. Don't be afraid. I'm always, my phone's attached to the hip
Right.
and to my hand.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. My wife hates it. But, but yeah, I mean, the door's always open in my area. I mean, you know, you got something that's promising to show on the podcast, I'll let you show it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you for having me.
like sharing your knowledge and your experience with other people, and hopefully by viewing this, they of course follow you.
Oh, yes,
hope
for
so.
sure. Yep, hit the button.